Hi guys, it is April from Getting Hygge With It. Today we're back and the cup is back. May was quarantine-a-thon and so the cup was sadly retired for that month. Gave it a little break. But it's back and we're going to do my June TBR. I'm very, very much looking forward to this, so let's get into it. So first we should see what's going on in the cup. We have to eventually pick out 4 prompts. I'll run around and try to find books that apply to the prompts. And then I'll read them for the month of June. So the prompts that are already in the cup are most recent buy, spooky, seasonal read, April pick, new author, favorite author, blurbed, pet pick, which will be impossible to do because Libby is at my parents' house at the moment, library book, try a chapter gothic bonus video, big book, and husband pick. Whew, so we've got 12. I'm just going to shuffle those around and we'll pick. Oh, if it's pet pick, like that is impossible. New author. Oh, this is good. I've got quite a few. So this is new to me author that I've never read before. Let's rummage around and find some books that I could read for this prompt. Okay, so I have 3 books that I can choose from for this prompt in June. The first is The Merciless by Daniel Vega. Now, if you've seen recently, I posted a video about the spooky, scary books that I would like to read by the end of 2020, and this was on it. So The Merciless is about, it's YA, and it's like a YA horror book about a girl who starts at this high school and she's trying to make friends, and unfortunately she gets in with the wrong crowd because this crowd of girls have taken one of her classmates, put her in a basement, strapped her down, and are torturing her because they believe that she's possessed and they're trying to perform an exorcism on her. Terrifying. I've never read Daniel Vega before, and if I like this, then I have like, this is a whole series, so fingers crossed. Then there is The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. I feel like I might be the last person on earth who reads horror who hasn't read Lisa Jewell. But this would be my first of hers. This is about a girl who receives a note in the mail that she has inherited this big, huge mansion. I think it's a mansion at least. She grew up as an orphan, and so this is very much a surprise, and she goes to live in the house. What she doesn't know is that many years ago in this house, a baby was discovered alive, 10 months old, perfectly fine, but downstairs in the kitchen, all of the adults were murdered. I think she's the baby. I don't think, that's not a spoiler. It sounds like a lot of fun. There's The Family Upstairs. And then a book I've been really, really eager to read is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I think this is I think it's her first book, if I'm not mistaken. So new author to everyone. And this is blurbed by Gillian Flynn, which is always a good sign. So this is about a girl who was sexually abused by her high school teacher. She at the time didn't think of it as abuse, but years later she's recognized it as such. And he's going to get some sort of award, I think, as a teacher, and she decides to come out and tell her story. And it sounds wonderful, very hard to read, I know, but it sounds amazing. So those are the books that I could read for new author. Now, We need to choose another prompt and put it in the cup. So I'm going to choose gifted. Now, so many of you guys have sent me lovely, lovely gift, so I'm kind of hoping that this one comes up. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the cup and shuffle this about a little bit. Okay. Oh, spooky! Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, I'm so excited. Whew, that took a little while to decide. I was gonna just have like a huge pile, but this is perfect because I'm really in the mood for like very creepy books right now. So spooky came up, and yes. Okay, several choices. First is American Predator. I forgot to add this to my list of creepy books that I'd like to read by the end of 2020. So here it is. This is true crime. It's the hunt for the most meticulous serial killer of the 21st century. So this guy, who I had never heard of before, his name is Keyes, Israel Keyes. He would create these kill kits and drop them all around America, I believe. He'd bury them and then go back to those places and kill someone in the area and then take a plane and leave. And so he got away with it for a very, very long time. I've heard that you should read this if you liked I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which I very much did. So I'm very interested in reading this, American Predator. Next up is the Southern Bookclub's Guide to Slaying Vampires. What is it about me? I did this in another video where I said vampires. They're not cuddly like kittens, April. This is Grady Hendrix's new book, and this is about a book club in the 90s, early 90s, I think, and these group of women are small town women, but they all read true crime together. And one day, our main character, I think her name is Patricia, she is leaving book club and she's attacked by a neighbor. Luckily, a neighbor's nephew comes to the rescue, and she's never met anyone like him, but he might end up actually being a vampire or a vampire.
The vampires.
So I just think this is going to be fantastic. So I could read that. It sounds funny, but apparently it's quite scary, like quite dark, which is right up my alley. Okay, two more. This one was also in my spooky, creepy books I'd like to read by 2020, which I will link below. This is Within These Walls by Anya Alborn. I've only read a novella by her before. This is a ghost story. I'm so in the mood for a ghost story. This is about a true crime writer who had a big hit and then kind of fell by the wayside, and he's trying to write his next book. He's decided to write about this man who was a cult leader, and he ended up killing, I think he killed all of the people in his cult. In any case, he's behind bars and has agreed to meet with our protagonist and talk about the crimes that he committed. And our main protagonist has decided to move into the place where it all happened. And apparently he's not alone, because there are ghosties there. Yes. And then the last one I could choose is a little one, but it's going to pack a punch because it's Laura Purcell's new book coming out June 7th. This is The House of Whispers. This is called Bone China in the UK, and this goes back and forwards in time, which, you know, I love that. This is a gothic story, and it follows a family called the Pinecrofts family, and consumption has ravished this home. I think the head of the family is a doctor, and he moves his whole family to this Cornish estate. Yeah. And it's by the sea, and he has decided to also take prisoners, I believe, suffering from the same disease to the estate, but he hides them away, and I think he's performing some sort of medical experiment on them to try and save his family. In any case, 40 years later, we follow a nurse who has gone to this home and is going to take care of an elderly woman living there, also by the name of Pinecroft, Miss Pinecroft. So we're going to find out what happened, and it sounds wonderful. All of them creepy, all of them good. I'm so excited about that. Okay, now we need to choose a prompt to throw into the cup, and we're going on top. Classic. Ooh, I haven't read a classic in a while. Popped in, and now I'm gonna shuffle these. Okay, if Pet Pick comes up again, I can't do it because Libby's not here. Library book. I can't do this because the library is closed. I have to put it back into the cup because the library is closed. Let's try again. And classic. It came out with classic. Okay, let me think on this and I'll be back. Okay, so I have 3 classics here that I could go with. They were all classics that were on books I'd like to read in 2020 based on Booktuber Favorites. I'll link that video in the description box below. I think that's almost always linked in the description box below. So first up is, and I can't believe I still haven't read it, is Anne of Green Gables. I'm Canadian, haven't read it. It's a children's classic, and it would be lovely to read this in the summer, I think. And with all of the creepy books that I've got on my list, this might be a nice little reprieve when I need a little bit of happiness. So there's Anne of Green Gables. I could definitely read that. I also have Mansfield Park on the list by Jane Austen. This is my last Jane Austen that I have not read, and I think this has been on multiple TBRs at this point. And this follows Fanny Price, who was brought up by her alongside her rich cousins at Mansfield Park. And this group of people move into the area while her uncle is away. And they are from, I think they're from London, and they bring with them all of the glitz and glamour of London, and everyone's entranced by them and swept away, except Fanny. I think she has a good solid head on her shoulders, and you find out why that's important. In any case, so I could read that. And the last one is a huge one that I'm so afraid of big books. I do think that sectioning them off helps, but I'll tell you what it is. It's Gone with the Wind. Why is it so big? 800 and something pages. No, 900 pages. Big, 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 big. I mean, if I just section this sucker off, I could do it. The hard thing with big books is I always feel like I could read so many smaller books. But it's meant to be amazing. This is a Civil War story. It won the Pulitzer Prize. And it is about Scarlett O'Hara, who is meant to be a terrible, terrible woman. And I think it's just as the Civil War is going on and she is on the losing side. She's on the wrong side of history in the South. It's so scary. It's scary. Okay, now we are going to choose another prompt to throw into the cup. I can't believe we're already, it's already the last prompt. How did that happen? Series. And I will throw it into the cup. And now I need to shuffle these suckers around, and plopped into the cup, and Pet Pick. Everything comes out with stuff I can't do. I can't do Pet Pick, guys. I cannot. She's not here, guys. She's with my mom. Try chapter Gothic. Let me think on this. Okay, so I've got 2. Before I go on, I do want to add another book to the list. I was hoping that something would come up where it could fall under, but it didn't, because new author, spooky, classic, and gothic, none of those really work for this book. But it's not here yet. I pre-ordered The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, part of the Hunger Games series. It's a prequel, and we follow, is it President Snow or Professor Snow? I think it's President Snow in the 10th annual Hunger Games, and I'm desperate to read it when it comes in, because it's not in yet. It's not here. But, so one of the books that I pulled earlier could definitely work for this, because she is always gothic, and that's The House of Whispers. So there's that one for sure. And then there's also In the Vines by Shannon Kirk, which sounds so creepy. This is about a woman who goes to a New England seaside estate that's like their family summer home, and her Aunt Liv lives there. And there are all sorts of family secrets that are unearthed there. I also think her Aunt Liv is slightly terrifying, because I think at the beginning she's like running away from her Aunt Liv. Like, what? So those are the two that I could read for gothic-y reads. And that's it, guys. I'm really, really happy with this TBR. I have been wanting a lot of creepy reads in my life right now. So this is like right up my alley. I'm very, very happy. So, okay, before we go, I've got to pick another prompt for the cup so that the cup will be ready for next month. Okay? So, I am picking Most Anticipated. That's a lovely prompt. Into the cup it goes. We're all set for next month. I hope that you guys are doing really well. Let me know in the comments below. Have you read any of these books that I talked about? Are you like me with Gone with the Wind, where you are very eager to read it, but also slightly terrified because of its sheer size? I would love to know, and I will talk with you soon. Bye, guys.